Good morning, everyone. It's Bridget from the Art of Grace Publishing House, and I am here to do another installment of the Authors in the Spotlight. We are live on My Time TV and through YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And we're also streaming through the Binge Network stations in the US and on Amazon Live TV. If you're joining us through Facebook, we would love for you to jump on over to Amazon Live and watch us today and interact with us over there. That would be awesome. I do have my phone here because I want to be able to see you over there and commenting and talking to us, and being able to join us live over there is so much fun. So we're talking today about the beautiful Intuitive Speaking Her Truth book, which turned up in the post yesterday. The paperback is out, and you are able to purchase either the paperback or the ebook. And I just wanted today read to you from the back cover. When a woman stands in her true power, connected within, allowing her intuition to lead her life, she cannot help but to speak her truth. This is not always easy, and we often lose our way. This collection of stories allows you permission to find your own voice, speak your own truth, and connect to others continually on a journey of finding and using their voice. Women sharing their voices for those who cannot yet, so that they one day can too. And I'm so pleased to have another 3 set of authors today. And the first that I would like to welcome to us is the beautiful Joanne. And Jo is a beautiful intuitive woman. She works from her home base in Queensland. Thank you so much for joining me, Jo. It's wonderful to have you here with us today.
Hi there, Bridget. It's great to be here. I'm really excited about this.
It is really fun. Going through, Amazon Live TV is a really great place to be. And over there, you can actually purchase your own copy of the book, and, you can link through, you can chat to us over there. It's great to have people on the chat. I'm just going to open up that chat now so that I can see when people are coming on. And we are definitely live on there, which is awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. So if you do join us, please do say hello, whether you're on Facebook or on Amazon. We would love to talk to you. If you have questions for the authors, please do interact with us. Jo, can you tell me, why is it that you decided to contribute to the book?
As you know, Bridget, I was one of the later additions to the book, and it was something that I became aware of. Speaking my truth is something that I've learned over many decades, that I've learned. It's my story in the book is it covers quite a span of time where there's an evolutionary process where I kind of recognize what happened for me at the age of 5 and how that impacted my life moving forward. And when I became aware of the book, and I wrote a blog about it through my website, just about the synchronicity of it all, just how it was something that I was aware of. And then it was something that I really wanted to do. I want to write a solo book one day. And this to me was a version of a stepping stone towards that. And yeah, when I was aware that you were publishing a book called Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, it just aligned with everything that I'm doing at the moment and everything that I want to be doing moving forward. It just seemed like the ideal opportunity, and I just couldn't say no. So
I'm glad you didn't say no. It did take you a while to make your decision, but you didn't say no. Jo, in your bio, it says the words, Jo sees science and intuition as being on a continuous spectrum rather than being distinctly separate, and views her work as a bridge where the energetic and the logical are woven together. I really love that description, and I'm a real big supporter of people understanding the science behind our intuition, and that's something that you do really easily in your work.
Yeah, it feels like a completely seamless process. And I've had times in my life where I've compartmentalized the science, the facts, the data, and the intuition. And my life works for me when I combine the two together, and it enables me to be able to access other people's stuff as well on different levels, on different layers, whether it's emotional and physical. I actually help people to be able to weave the two together, what's happening in their physical life and what's happening on a relationship level, and also mentally, cognitively with their belief systems and so on. So it's become something that I've really integrated, and I've had to do that myself first before I can help others to do that. So yeah, it's a really big, important part of my work.
Yeah.
Bringing those threads together. So
When people hear the term energy healer, they sometimes go, oh, that's woo woo, that's too much, that's out there for me. How would you respond to that?
there's different aspects. I tend to go back to the chakras because the different chakras in the body have different functions. Like the sacral chakra is very feminine. It's related to our reproductive system and so on. It's about feelings and emotions. But right above that is the solar plexus chakra, and I very much associate with that. I believe I come from that place a lot of the time, where it's more a sense of knowing,
Yeah.
and it's it's quite a cerebral chakra. It is more data focused. It's about organization and so on. So I believe that in my work, I really pull from the solar plexus chakra a lot. So just there are times in client sessions I know something, and then my guidance instructs me to share it with the person I'm working with.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's not something I'm feeling. It's in my body. It's not an emotion. It's not something I'm seeing. It's just that deep sense of knowing that I spent many years ignoring and trying to justify away. But it's to get to the place where you can integrate and accept all aspects of yourself, the woo woo and the scientific. It's a really healthy, balanced place for me to be at, and I believe that I help other people to do that as well.
I like that. It's something that I've always said. I initially, when I first started meditating, which is where I reconnected to my own intuition, is I always had this preconceived idea that it was for the hippies, and I had a idea of what a hippie was in my mind as well. And if meditation is only for hippies, then call me a hippie. And if you have a preconceived idea of what a hippie is in your mind, you're probably thinking, like I did, dreadlocks or long hair, lots of jewelry. They wear long flowing clothes. They seem to be walking around in a daze. They're all peace and love, and it's beautiful way to live if you can do that. But that's not me. And I was the strong corporate woman, and when I started meditating I was still in that role, and it's something that I thought was this woo-woo thing that wasn't for me. And when I started to do it, it was like, oh my God, I'll tell anybody that I can how good this stuff is, like how much this has changed my life. And reconnecting to myself through that process is something that I implore others to do. And I think that that's we're changing the narrative around what woo-woo is and what spirituality is and what our intuition is, and being able to have people to see that they can speak their truth by connecting through their intuition is a powerful thing, isn't it? To be able to live in that space. It feels really good, doesn't it, Jo?
Oh, it totally does. And I know for me, when I think of an intuition and intelligence, they can work together. They don't have to work independently. We can check in with our intelligence, those intelligent aspects, that cerebral solar plexus chakra. We can be checking in and, getting the benefit of both ends of the spectrum, wherever you are located upon that continuum, wherever you sit, whether you're fully intuitive, there are streams of data that we can be accessing at all times. And it's really cool. And as you know, like you participated in my Speak Your Truth webinar. And during that, I was sharing how science had discovered that if you can't hear your own truth, then you cannot speak it. And that works in interaction between the hearing and the speaking, and both of those aspects are part of the throat chakra. So yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. And I just love how more and more as we go through time, science is validating intuition. The more research that's being done, the more intuition is being validated. And I just find that remarkable. And I think we're living in a time, that wouldn't be able to happen 100 years ago or more. So we're living in a really interesting time where we can inhabit both aspects, both the intuitive and the more cerebral, intelligent aspects as well. So.
Yeah, and I think that that's so true. It's coming more to the forefront. The science behind it is coming more to the forefront, and we're seeing more people talk about this in this space. And I really like that, because that really does allow more people to actually accept it, because they have these preconceived ideas, like I did about hippies and meditation. And if you allow yourself to be open to the opportunity, this is something that can be open to you too. So I say that on the back of the book I wrote that the women sharing their voices for those who cannot yet. And I really want to encourage people to know that we all have the ability to tap into our intuition. It's not just Jo and I aren't special and the women in this book aren't special. We all have that ability to tap into it. So, yeah, please do reach out to Jo if she's somebody that you feel you resonate with and would like to explore this more with her. That webinar you talked about, that was really, it was amazing. We did a little bit of focus on one chakra during that, where you led us through a process that actually opened it up more. Can you tell us, can you explain how that works? Because that was phenomenal for me.
I've had a lot to do with frequencies. I've worked with a frequency-based modality, and I've come to see on my intuitive journey that everything that exists in the real known world, there are other realms, there are other dimensions that exist, and it's my belief that in all of the other dimensions, there's the equivalent of what we experience physically. So therefore, we can be working with frequencies in a healing, therapeutic way, whether it's affecting us physically and we're using it to improve our immune system, or whether we're doing it, on another realm, a more etheric realm, an emotional realm, a mental realm, cognitive, spiritual, all of the other aspects, astral. I believe that we can be accessing those frequencies. Some people call it streams of grace. Some people call it divine light. I tend to look at it as frequencies, which isn't a surprise given that I have a scientific background. I've worked as an engineer, both in consulting and industry. So my sense of how these healing energies work is probably a more scientific way of visualizing that. So, but yeah, divine light works for a lot of people, but I see it all as frequencies.
I did over on Amazon. We have Maddie, who says she loves what you're saying, Joanne, and Theresa is over there as well. Love this, Joanne. They are great points. She's really enjoying the talk. And Maddie has said, yes, we do all, in capital letters, we all have the ability to tap into our intuition. And that's something that I think that I have found when people ask me what books I've got coming up. And when I say that, Intuitive is a series. So, and you can grab both of these from the cart over on Amazon. I implore you to jump over there. How do I hold them? I don't know how to hold them. I have to cover my face. Intuitive is a series, and these two are out. And Knowing Her Truth was the first one that was out, and now we're talking to the authors of Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. You can pop on over to Amazon Live TV. The link is in the comments if you are on Facebook, and you can pop over there and you can actually jump in to purchase, and you can talk to us over there as well, which I've been reading the comments out over there. So do that if you get on here and you hear me say that. In the comments, you will see the link to the Amazon mytimetv.live station, and you'll be able to talk to us from over there. And go shopping. You can buy the ebook, or you can click through and buy the paperback, which is out. Came out yesterday, which is amazing timing for you guys. Jo, Adair has said, great message, Joanne. Science has progressed so much that this is not woo-woo anymore. And I would agree with that. And that's why I really wanted to talk about that, is that, they think that I think that the more people who understand the science behind it, the more that it's going to be tapped into by more people, and we will live in a more peaceful place. Jo, tell us, what have you got going on at the moment?
Right at the moment, I'm in the process of updating my website. It's transitioning to a new website, and I'm really excited about that. It's more streamlined, it's clean, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. But I've got a blog on there, so I have a weekly newsletter that I send out to my mailing list, and in that I include how science informs intuition and how science validates intuition. So this week, my newsletter was about parasitic relationships and about how parasites, real physical parasites that afflict us, and they tend to affect our digestive systems, we can learn a lot about parasitic relationships by looking at literal physical parasites and seeing how they function. They invade us, and they take our energy. They basically live at the expense of the host, and that's what happens in parasitic relationships too, where there's not a relationship of fair exchange. It's a one-way flow of positive energy, and the person who's doing the giving doesn't really receive anything in response. So I think it's really important that we recognize those parallels. What's happening in the physical obviously is a reflection of what can be happening on a relational, more spiritual level. So yeah, I'm working on my website, and I also have intuitive sessions, healing sessions, and I work with people in both 60-minute and 90-minute sessions. But I've got a free get to know you service. It's a call available. That's a 20-minute call. So if people aren't sure whether there's an energetic match or not, if they're a bit reluctant and hesitant, and I completely relate to that because I'm a bit of a wary, cautious kind of person myself. And if they don't want to fully leap in, then I have that service available where people can basically book in, and we can have a 20-minute chat and see if there's an energetic match between us. So yeah, and I'm working on things all the time. I'm in the process of creating a few guided meditations. You mentioned that I included a guided meditation in my Speak Your Truth webinar, which is free, and it's available through my Vimeo page. Yeah, so I've got a bit going on at the moment, but I'm mostly focused on getting my website up and running because, yeah, I'm super excited about having that happen. And all of my weekly newsletters that talk about how science informs intuition, they're all included in my blog articles on my new website. So hopefully in a few days that will be available to everybody.
Yeah, awesome. Well, if you can put the links into the chat so that people can find you, even just for now, if it's through Facebook Messenger, we would love to see that. And Linda has joined us. She's actually showing up as mytimetv.live because she's special. She's on the thing over there. She's one of the admin on that station, that Facebook station, and it is also streaming through YouTube. So it is great to have you here today, Jo, with Intuitive Speaking Her Truth being the book that you've contributed to. I'm so grateful that you shared your story, and that you did put that trust into me and you were able to do it. And I'm excited to announce that Joanne actually is the first person who has signed up for the new book, Intuitive Seeing Her Truth. In the series of Intuitive. It's the third book installment. It is fantastic, and I look forward to hearing the story that you write for that book too, Jo. Thank you so much for being with us. Is there anything you wanted to share that you didn't have an opportunity to today?
If people want to follow me, probably at this stage with my website not being online at the moment, they're welcome to follow me through Facebook. My business name is Joanne Intuitive. So I'm pretty easy to find, and recognizable. So
You can put that into the comments in Facebook and over on Amazon, and we will look forward to seeing more from you in the future, Jo. Thanks for being with us today. See you next
Bridget.
time.
Okay, bye.
What a beautiful soul she is. Theresa had said, yes, love the way you make these correlations. It is so true. If you do pop on over to Amazon Live, do follow Adair and our producer, and you can then chat to us over there. And you can also purchase your copy of Intuitive Speaking Her Truth from the cart, or you can get Intuitive Knowing Her Truth, or both. They're only $1.50 as ebooks, and they are available as paperbacks. As of yesterday, the Intuitive Speaking Her Truth came out, which is wonderful for us to have that happen just the day before these ladies get to talk to us. The next person I would like to bring on is Maddie Sparkles. Madeleine Wobbler is somebody that, you know, she lights up the room when she comes in, and she is a beautiful soul. Welcome, Maddie, for joining us today, and I'm so grateful to have you here with us. I'm hoping Maddie's still here with us. I haven't checked the group chat for a bit. I will bring Theresa on then. Maddie has dropped out, so we'll bring Theresa on first. Sorry about that. I missed the group chat. Thank you so much for joining us, Theresa. Was not prepared for that.
We'll just switch it up.
We're switching it up. We're just doing our own thing over here. It's always when you're live on television, it's always a treat to see what happens. I actually just wanted to read something from your chapter, which I wasn't ready to do straight away, so I'm just going to have to find that in my book here where I've marked it up. Your chapter is actually titled Perseverance Through Pain, and you had a amazing experience when you were younger. I won't go into the detail of that, but I would like you to touch on that. But you said in your story, I struggled to find my voice in the years to follow. My relationship with my boyfriend, later my husband, was not healthy, as my foundation was still on very shaky, uneven ground. I longed for balance, safety, and acceptance. I felt I had found what I was longing for, and for the most part, I did. However, I would have done anything to keep this relationship from falling apart, and was terrible at setting boundaries, having a voice, and being confident and strong. I was vulnerable. So, Theresa, you go on to say that you wish you were different back then. Can you tell me what is different about Theresa now to that woman back then?
Just the confidence in being independent and knowing that no matter what, I can count on myself. And I think back then I was looking for so much external validation and struggling with having the loss of my dad, and a lot of things were going on at that time. And I just think that through it all, I realized who I was through the struggle of it all. But during that time, I had been reeling from a trauma that I experienced as a young teenager. And I think just trying to really come to terms with that, and really feeling like I needed to hold on to whatever I had. And that realization really didn't come until years later. And so, and actually, reliving some of those things when I was writing, was so very much healing for me. And I came to a lot of different epiphanies, like, oh my gosh, that's why I did this, or that's why this happened. And so looking at myself back then, I just wish, I could have been like, oh no, looking at the crystal ball and seeing what life is gonna have for you down the road. But we don't have a crystal ball, or at least some of us don't. And so she was lost at that time.
And I think that's the reason I wanted to read that part out and ask you that question is to show the example to others that it is possible to find yourself again, and it is possible to,
yes.
like, you're a great example of that. And I love that you share this in your story. Can you tell everybody what it is that you do in the world?
I'm a holistic intuitive life coach, and I'm a Reiki master. So I love to incorporate both of them, because usually when I'm working with a client that's seeing me for, let's say, energy healing, I can usually pick up on things that are going on in their life. And that kind of leads me into the coaching aspect of their life, and really supporting them and empowering them to realize that every emotion and every trauma and everything that we've been through in our life, we hold in our body, and it causes, slow energy flow. It causes energetically, amongst other things, but it really causes illnesses in our own body. And I suffered myself with chronic respiratory problems, asthma, and just being sick all the time. And it was just due to a lot of stuff that I was holding on to. So
it's so true that trauma can, show up as disease or dis-ease in your body. And it is something that I've learned a lot about over the last few years, and it's something that I really implore people, if you have suffered through trauma in your childhood or in your adulthood, that you reach out to someone, whether it be Theresa or somebody else that you feel comfortable with, to actually work through that trauma and allow it to leave you, because it's something, once you do it, the freedom that you feel and the health that you feel from it is extraordinary. So I take it you are the coach, but you're also the Reiki master. I take it that you use what is right for the client that you're dealing with.
Yes.
Yeah. So using the combination of your intuition and what they're going through, or what you're dealing with them, what you're helping them process, is you choose. Yeah.
And it's wonderful, because if somebody comes to me for healing, energetic healing, that's one thing. But if they come to me for life coaching, I can work in energetic healing if that's what they're called to do, if that's what they're open to do. And, I just throw that out there because I think balancing every aspect, helping somebody balance every aspect of their being is, that's the most important thing, that you can't do one without the other. That's how I feel. Like, if you're going to help somebody, looking at the whole person and not just one aspect.
Yeah, I love that. It's just, it encompasses their whole self. That holistic is what you used in your title, and it's so true that that's what you are. So Jo is over on Amazon Live TV, and she has said, Theresa, your story in the book, Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, is so emotional. It is so brave and courageous to share your vulnerability in that way. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Joanne is on Facebook as well, and she has said, Theresa, I love hearing how you customize your client sessions using different modalities. Yes, it's very it's a great way to work. It's unique, and I think that this old adage of you need to focus on one thing and have this niche is not the greatest way to work. If you have a range of modalities that you work with and a range of ways to work with people, it is something that is unique, and that ability for others to get that experience with you is you can't put a price on that, I say. You did mention before, and I wanted to go back to this, that the story that you shared in the book was something that allowed you to go through some healing. So I always say that writing your story is a cathartic process, and I think it's more cathartic when it's going to be published work. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would definitely agree with that. thought I healed what I needed to heal, and then I started writing, because when you write, and if you are writing from your higher self, you're allowing what you need to put down on paper. You're just allowing it to come through. And then in the process of coming through, I also had to like analyze it, even though I thought I'd already kind of worked through it. And it was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
So, but it was good. You know, it was this, some parts of the trauma I really kept to myself. Of what I experienced. Not everyone knew that. And so just talking about it, I think, and just being very open with what I experienced in total was very, very beneficial for me.
And I think that's the thing about writing your story, is beneficial for you as well as the reader. Like it's a win-win situation. You can't lose in this situation. It's sometimes, you know, I see some of the authors go through writing their story, and it's really difficult to move through. But once they're on the other side, they're so grateful that they got this opportunity to do it. So if you're thinking about it, I implore you to reach out and be in the third iteration of Intuitive. So I just wanted to give a shout out that we are over on Amazon Live TV. And if you pop over there, the links are in the comments in Facebook, and you can grab our book, Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, and read Theresa's story. It is a beautiful story to read, and one that... yeah, I think during my reading of your story, I actually got afraid. I actually had some fear come up, and obviously that was something that I needed to look at in my life, because it brought up something for me, and that was interesting. Yeah, it was great to see that though in myself, and be able to explore what that was for me, having that fear come up. So I'm grateful that you did share the story you did in there. Theresa, can you tell us, what are you doing in the world at the moment? You know, what do you have on that people could work with you?
So I have a few different things going on. On my website, of course, you can go on and obviously read my bio, sign up for an energy healing. I also have a 90-day VIP journey just in transformation. And whatever that means to that person, again, I really customize and uniquely design a coaching program based on what their needs are. So I go through the whole journey with them for 90 days. So whatever that means, whatever that they need, however they need to be supported during that time, I am there for them. So that's
unique. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that they do that. Like it's a totally bespoke coaching program. Oh, that's amazing. What a great way to work with someone.
Yes, it is. And again, I want to go back to what you said about the niche, and everyone's asking, what's your niche? And I'm like, it just feels so generic for me to be like, well, I work with women that, you know, or work with men, or, you know, whatever the case is. I can work with anyone. And that's really the goal here, is to be able to serve as many people as I can with the gifts that I have. And knowing what I've been through, that I just want to support somebody else in their journey when they have difficult times. So
Maddie has said, love your work, Theresa. Releasing trauma is a big deal, and it sure is. Linda has now joined us as herself. We're celebrating you, Linda, for joining us yourself, showing up as a real me. She says, what a powerful story, Theresa. She also said, love this approach, Theresa. It's so powerful. So it is a powerful way to work, and we're grateful that you're doing this work in the world. Is there anything that you haven't had an opportunity to share that you would like to?
With the two, I'm also doing an 8-week group class in mindfulness and emotional intelligence. So that takes a person on a journey with trying to find the clarity that they need Some people have great ideas and just don't know how to push through that. And so it's an 8-week really course in finding clarity in the areas of their life that they are needing it at that time. So that starts January 9th, and I'm open to about 10 students during that time. And then I have a wellness retreat in north part of Florida coming up in February that I'm hosting. So.
Oh, fantastic. I love retreats. I'm not in the US, and I don't know that we will be traveling there in the next few months, but hopefully in the next 6 months we'll get back over there. You, in the middle of being in Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, you moved states.
I did.
Now tell me, I wanted to, that just popped into my head when you said Florida. Yeah. Tell me, you have manifested this. This is something that you have wanted for some time. So yes, this is something you've been, focusing on for a long time. Just tell us a little bit about this move.
So the ocean has always called me, and I knew I needed to be here, and whatever that knowing is, I just go with it. And lucky for me, my husband agreed to move to Florida. And so now here we are enjoying the sunshine every day. When you approached me and I agreed to write this chapter, I was like, oh my gosh, I have too much going on. Like, I've got this move coming up, and but I just allowed it, and I just trusted it. And that's really what you have to do. Like, even with agreeing with your book, because the night before I said, okay, if there's anything else that I am needing to do, let me know. I was like praying, like, just allow it to come through. The next morning I had a message from you, and I'm like, okay, that's what I need to do. So
here we are sitting watching. We're on Amazon Live TV. We're streaming through LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and we're talking to one another miles apart. And, it's I don't even remember how I found you or how you found me and how we came together. And that's a common story throughout all the intuitive books. And it's a beautiful way to ensure that the universe is working in our favor always. So I'm so grateful for you being here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I implore people to grab the book and read Theresa's story. Just before you go, Joanne has said, Theresa, how exciting, a wellness retreat. I'm sure you'll bring your intuitive gifts to the retreat as well. That's over on Amazon Live TV. And Maddie has said, yes, Theresa, allow and trust it, and you are guided. And that is so true, isn't it?
It is.
Thank you for being with me today, Theresa. I will see you again soon. Appreciate your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So take 2 for our beautiful Maddie. So I did have a wobble before, and I said her last name was Wobble. It is not Wobble, it is Wober. So I wanted to read her bio out. Madeleine P Wober, aka Maddie Sparkles, America's Scottish Sparkle. When she says it, it sounds so much better than when I say it in my accent. Delivers sage wisdom and childlike enthusiasm, connecting people to their internal light and guardian angels. After 3 decades of medical setbacks, including severe anxiety, depression, panic attacks, and suicidal thoughts in her 20s, ovarian cancer in her 30s, and diagnosed with MS in her 40s, she now helps others release their fears, step into their power, and find the silver linings, so they live a truly magical life by feeling divinely guided. Thank you so much for being with me, Maddie Sparkles. I am so grateful that you came back, because it would have been such a disservice to everyone to not hear you speak today.
Thank you so much for having me. And your accent is really exciting to me as well.
Over on Amazon, Adair has said she loves your background, Maddie, and she is welcoming you to joining us today. Linda has welcomed you to join us today. And so thank you for being with us. Maddie, tell me, you came into the book at a time, and I thought you were going to be the last one, and 2 more people came in. And this morning you actually sent me, when I woke up this morning, you probably sent it earlier in your day, or late in your evening, you sent me a message saying, did you put me at number 22 or did that just happen? So the way that everybody is in this book is is when they came into the book is their chapter number. So you came in at number 22. Now this means something for you and for a lot of other people in the world. Can you just share with us what that means?
I was so excited. So I got my copy of the book. Yay! And I was looking for my chapter and I read it again just to refresh myself what I wrote. And then I looked at the number and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm number 22. And I'm all about the angels and angel numbers. And it was very exciting. So I love that serendipity. And the number 22 is all about being on the verge of obtaining an even higher spiritual understanding and really being on purpose and on track to reach your dreams and goals for your life. And that's exactly where I'm at today. So I'm really excited about that. And I loved that happened. It was just really delightful, a nice surprise.
Yeah. And I think that is it's the universe sending messages to us, isn't it? Saying you are on the right path and this is the right time for you to be doing what you're doing. So continue to step up and show up in your life. So you've been through quite a lot and, still going through stuff for yourself. And you're the true example of that. No matter what is happening in your life, you can still live a very happy, sparkly life, can't you?
Yeah. Yes, it's all about perspective and it's all about seeing the silver linings and I love this, I talk about this a lot, that in the book Jonathan Seagull by Richard Bach, he talks about every single challenge is literally a gift for you, like it has a gift for you in its hands, and it's up to us to really learn from what's happening and we can let it destroy us, or as the song and the phrase goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So for me, yes, every decade since my 20s has been really interesting and has brought me lots of gifts and really caused me to look within and to listen to my body. And I don't always get it right, but it's a reminder that we're more than our physical bodies, but it's a reminder that we can't take our health for granted. We can't take our bodies for granted. And every little thing that happens and big thing actually has something really big for you to work on and grow and expand and just learn to love yourself regardless.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true. Love yourself regardless, because it is when you start to do that, you also start to tap into your intuition, and it's something that you cannot experience without loving yourself. So do love yourselves. Over on Amazon Live TV, we've got more synchronicity. Joe says each of the speakers today has touched on a theme of synchronicity. That is so true. I didn't notice that until you pointed that out, Joe. Thank you. What a treat to hear your voice, Madeleine. I can't wait to hear what you have to share with us. And Adair says, fabulous message. Thank you, Maddie Sparkles. Love yourself regardless. We have got some people watching over on Facebook as well, and I would encourage you to jump on over to Amazon Live, where you can go and purchase the book. You can click on the chat and chat to us over there. Yay! She's such a beautiful cover. I absolutely adore this cover. It is beautiful. Intuitive Speaking Her Truth is an adorable cover. And I meant to mention when I was talking to Joanne earlier that these are representative of the chakras. So it is a beautiful cover, and you can jump over onto Amazon Live TV and you can follow Adair over there. Click the follow button so that you don't miss out on any of these interviews, and you get to see what else she's up to on mytimetv.live. I often have trouble with that one. Maddie, can you tell us what you shared? Just a little bit of intrigue for the viewers, to tell them what you shared in the book.
Oh, well, I was kind of sharing my life story. Like, it started way back at age 2.5. I was always very sensitive and very intuitive. And I always loved having adventures because I'm an Aquarian. I'm a free spirit. Sometimes these adventures would get me into trouble. Other times it was just like the best fun ever. And I'm a world traveler. So everything was just really, from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to be in America, and I always knew that I belonged there, even from a very young age. And so I think that probably came from watching TV shows like Charlie's Angels and Fantasy Island and Magnum PI and all these like shows that were on a Saturday morning when it was pouring with rain outside the window in Glasgow, Scotland. And I'm a big believer in manifesting your dreams, like whatever you think about, you bring about. And so, yes, lo and behold, that happened for me. I did end up coming to America, which is where I'm talking to you from, where I'm speaking from now. And my dream, in my mind, my dream is always California. And I did live there for 6.5 years. I've now just recently moved to Austin, Texas. Very different energy, but still great to be here. And, you know, and Magnum PI's car was a red sports car, and now I'm driving my wee red VW Bug. And I always wanted a doggy of my own, and now I do have her. And there was a really beautiful serendipitous story about how I got my dog, and also how I met my fiance. So that's all in the book. And it's just a really lovely unfolding of things that would never have happened if I'd given up and I wasn't here anymore in the world, which is how I felt in my 20s. I didn't want to be here anymore. It was too difficult. So here I am, and life is getting better by the minute. It's just a wee bit every day. You just push yourself a little bit every day, even if you don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning, because we all have days like that. So
yeah, that's so inspirational. I love how you talk and how your perspective on the world is. Linda has said, sounds like life is a fun-filled adventure with you, Maddie.
Yes, me and my guardian angel, because the angels are always around us, and I've had experiences with angels all through my life, and that's a big part of what I do now in my life to help other people. So yes, it can be an adventure. It is what you make it, and that's why I really talk about living magically, which is the name of my chapter, because it is a choice, and we can choose to look for the things that we love and the things that really lift us up. And I also shared in the book, in my chapter, that at any given point, you can count 5 reasons on one hand why your life is the best it's ever been. And at the same point, you can count 5 fingers on your other hand and tell yourself why life sucks. So which one do you want to focus on? Because they're both true, and it's what do you want to focus on? So that's what I tend to do every day.
Well, your intuition is on point. I was just going to ask you about that.
Yay.
We'll move on to the next. So I wanted to continue with your bio in the book. Maddie Sparkles is an intuitive healer working with angels and spirit guides, voice actor, inspirational poet, and transformational empowerment coach. She illuminates the path of living magically. She runs Living Magically retreats globally as a vibrant Facebook community and offers angel and oracle card readings for healing in any area of your life. So we have very exciting news. You are actually holding a retreat in Italy in the summer.
Yes, I am. I'm super excited about that. It's called Living Magically as well. And it's going to be, I'm also a transformational empowerment coach. So I combine the angelic realm with empowerment. And so we look at concepts like all to do with self, like self-confidence and self-respect and self-awareness and self-trust and self-love and self-acceptance and everything really to do with self that really helps us connect more deeply to ourselves and to other people, and allows us to get quiet enough to connect with the angels as well. And so I'm really excited to lead 5 workshops over the period of June, and it starts at the end of May and goes into just the very, very beginning of July. And there'll be space for 10 people on each retreat. And we'll even get to travel around Italy and see some amazing cities like Venice and Verona and Florence and Pisa and Milan, and eat gorgeous food and just have a beautiful wee community that we can all get really intimate and share our experiences. But there'll be a lot of angelic energy around us as well, because we'll be talking a lot about the angels, and you'll get to meet your guardian angel. So I'm very excited about that.
It is so exciting. It's going to be a fantastic retreat. So just to explain to people, so there's opportunity for you to join on different dates. So there'll be 10 people on each retreat. And is it 4 lots of sessions or 5, did you say?
5 different weeks.
Yeah,
and
5 different weeks. So plenty of opportunity for you to get in there. Theresa is saying, oh my gosh, I love this so much. So do I.
Yay! How exciting.
Over on Amazon, we have the comments saying you have such great energy. Loving yourself puts you into alignment, and that is so true. It is.
I love that. Oh my goodness. I just heard the magic word, and this is what happens when I'm doing my Facebook lives. When I hear a magic word like alignment, you get a cling. I'm very excited about the word alignment. That's all about life. That's what life is all about for me.
I love it. I love it. I was wondering when that was going to come out. I didn't know it was attached to specific words before. I think I've seen you do it before, but I didn't know it came back on specific words. Okay, so tell me, Maddie, if somebody's to go on the retreat, what does a day look like in this retreat? Because it's different to other retreats because you do get to do the tour thing as well. So I know that looking into it, I know that the flights are included and the accommodation is included and all but 4 meals are included in it because you're out and about. That's why they're not included. You're out and about in other cities at the time. Yes. It's in Sabbioneta in Italy. Is that how I say it? Should I say that?
Sabbioneta. Right? I believe it's Sabbioneta in northern Italy. A gorgeous little town, and there's history there, and we can even explore the Sabbioneta energy as well. So I think it's always been on many people's bucket list to travel to Italy. And also people are more and more fascinated by the angels and just being around other like-minded people who are kindred spirits and into spirituality, not religion, but spirituality. And there's a big difference because it's just such a way to open your heart. And my hope is that people will connect to their own internal light and just leave feeling so uplifted and radiant and just really in their power and excited about life and all the experiences that they're going to have on this amazing retreat.
It's like I said, it would have been a disservice to everyone if we hadn't been able to chat today because your energy is just infectious. You make people be lifted up. Adair has said, ha ha, isn't that brilliant? She loves it. Alignment. And then she goes, cling, cling. So she wants to hear a cling, cling.
Hold on, that wasn't
Joanne
a good one.
said she loves the cling as well.
That was quite loud.
Yeah, it was a good one. Can you tell me, so I did ask the question, what does a day on retreat with Maddie look like? So, you know, you do get the tours, you get a beautiful breakfast and you get the tours and stuff, but what is it like to actually sit down in session with you on these retreats?
Oh my goodness, fasten your seatbelt. I think that no matter how you're feeling, you are going to feel, if you're feeling uplifted already, you're going to feel through the roof. And if you're feeling a little bit flat, you're going to be really inspired because I'll be doing some angel readings individually, but also with the group. And every single time I do a one-to-one angel reading, I'm blown away and the person's blown away and they're always on point. You hear exactly what you need to hear. It might be something that you were thinking about last night. It might be something you've been thinking about for the last month, but the angels are around you and your guardian angels with you all the time. And so I'm just saying what comes up and using my intuition as well. But it's really exciting and it's so comforting and fulfilling. And pretty much everyone that has had an angel reading with me, whether doesn't matter what sex you are, doesn't matter what country you live in the world. I mean, I've been speaking to people all over the world, all the way through the pandemic, from Africa to Thailand to Israel to all over Europe, all over the UK, all over America and Canada. It's just so exciting. And Australia and New Zealand. Everywhere. And so that's the power of the internet. And that's how I love doing these amazing readings for people that really want to hear, what's my next step? What do I need to know about my career? Or am I on the right path? Is a big one that comes up all the time. And it's so interesting because sometimes I want to speak and say, oh my God, of course you're on the right path. But then I have to quiet myself and let the angels do the talking, let them guide the person. So,
I imagine that's quite hard for you to quiet yourself.
Well, it's true. I always meditate before the reading and I'm actually very grounded. But I mean, I'm super excited right now. So my energy gets really big and I talk really fast with my Scottish accent. I hope you can hear what I'm talking about, understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I teach this stuff and I have to practice it myself every day. And you were talking about meditation and I've been doing TM, Transcendental Meditation, for the last 6 years. And I think without that, I would not be the same person. I probably wouldn't have been able to achieve half the things I've achieved without that practice in my life every day.
Well, definitely, because your health challenges that you've been facing, you needed to find something that worked for you. And I think that that's the key for people, is to find what works for you, but to be open to explore things that you never would have considered before, because that's where it lies, because we all seem to rely initially, when we're not connected to our intuition, we rely on Western medicine a lot. And, that's not always the path for everyone. So being open to that, and being open to the chance of going on retreat with Maddie Sparkles, like, that is a phenomenal thing to consider. So we've got some comments on Facebook and on Amazon Live. I'll just, so Linda said, "Oh, that sounds so good." She's obviously talking about the cling. And, Adair's being cheeky. She said alignment again.
Oh, you're joking. For goodness sake.
Even up on the screen now. Linda says, "It's so nice to know we're not alone. Even in those darkest moments when we feel incredibly alone, we are not." And that is so good. So good.
And that's one of the things that I've been really wanting to share with the world. And when I got onto NBC and did a whole segment on guardian angels, I felt so blessed to be able to do that, for the exact thing that Linda just said, that we're not alone, we're never alone, and we always have a guardian angel right beside us, whether you believe in it or not. Everyone that is born, a human being, is born, and they have the guardian angel of their own that follows them all the way through life, supporting them and protecting them and encouraging them and cheering them on, and is with you until the day you leave your body. So we all have that, and all you need to do is ask. And then they'll help you. So it's just a wonderful thing to share with people and to let them know that they are not alone.
Yeah, that is so true. And it's, I really feel that in my life, that's something that has been with me my whole life, is a guardian angel. And it's something that I was reluctant to talk about, because people go, "Oh, you're a bit strange," like there's a common perception. I don't surround myself with those people anymore. I surround myself with people who believe in it. And I encourage others to be open to the opportunity. We're very different people in the way that we live, in the way that we have progressed through life, in the jobs that we've had. We're very different people, but you're very special to me, and I'm very grateful that you chose to come into Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, even though it was very last minute. You and Linda, who is watching today, very last minute. But it was something that I'm so grateful for, and your story is fantastic. I implore people to jump over to Amazon and grab a copy of Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. She's upside down, back to front. Oh, dear. It is a wonderful compilation, and you will be pleased that you read it, and it will give you insight into your own intuitive self, and be able to connect in a way that you didn't imagine was possible. We have put the links into the Facebook stream as well, and you can join us over on Amazon Live. If you do join us on Amazon Live, make sure you give Adair a follow, who is our producer, and she is the at the helm of the mytimetv.live station, and is bringing this show to you today. So thank you, Adair. Joanne says over on Amazon Live, "It's a huge comfort that you share with others. They are not alone." That is beautiful, Maddie. Thank you for that. And Adair would like to say thank you for the follows over on Amazon Live. Joanne Brown has said, "I'm hoping my copies arrive soon." She has ordered her copies, and she's hoping they arrive soon. Maddie, is there anything that you haven't been able to share today that you would like to?
Actually, yes. I'm working on my online course right now, which is called Guardian Angel at Your Service: How to Live Magically, a beginner's guide to harnessing alignment and regaining clarity so that you can create more confidence and manifest the life of your dreams. But I'm just going to shorten it to Guardian Angel at Your Service. So I'm working on that. It starts in January the 3rd. You can find more information on www.maddiesparkles.com, and you'll find my email and things like that you can reach me, or Instagram, Maddie_Sparkles with an S at the end, _8.
And if you grab a copy of the book, you'll easily be able to find Maddie, and she will put in the comments on Facebook, because the Amazon Live TV stream does disappear. So we will put on the comments on Facebook how you can contact Maddie. But if you just grab your copy of your book from Amazon, you'll be able to, get in contact with her and all the other speakers and authors from today. Maddie, thank you so much for being with me. I'm grateful again to you and bringing your light to the world. I am so grateful. There was a comment earlier that I didn't mention, that you always show up with beautiful, sparkly makeup, and your eyes always sparkle. Somebody did say, and I don't recall who it was, but they did say they loved your sparkly eyes.
Thank you. That's my own brand. I don't know if you can see, they're little bottles. I've got them in tons of colors. There's green and blue and pink and gold and silver and pearl, and you can see these also on maddiesparkles.com.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I sell the glitter.
I'll tell you a little story before we go. I used to live in the UK for some time, and I went to a pharmacy over there and I purchased something like that, and I have never been able to purchase it again. My house burnt down some 20 years ago now, and it's that was the one thing that I always think, I wish I knew what that brand was so that I could find it online. Now I know you've got it. I love sparkly eyeshadow, and it's really hard to find.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to send you some.
I'm going to order it. I'm going to jump on your website and order it.
Oh my gosh, it's so popular. I've been wearing it every day for about 20 years, and there's not a day that goes by that someone does not comment. So it's there for everyone if they want to try it.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Linda has said, oh goodness, you do sparkly eyeshadow.
Yes, I do. Well, glitter. Yeah, glitter.
Yeah. Glitter eyeshadow. Thank you so much, Maddie. I appreciate your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. It's so wonderful.
My pleasure.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Ask any questions you like. The authors will see the comments if you tag them on it, or I will share it with them. And my naughty puppy has got up on the bed. Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. We will be back again next week to talk to another 3 authors, and it is wonderful to share this with you. Thank you to our producer, Adair, and to mytimetv.live. Do give us a follow, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye, everyone.